So, first of all, thank you for the woo on the front row.
It's well deserved.
Is it? Thank you. I appreciate that. It really is. It's such a pleasure to be here. This is an event that I have personally been coming to for years. It's an event that I've been sending my team to for years. So it really is a privilege to be on this stage. So to Sean and Missy, thank you so much for having me. And big kudos to the entire Affiliate Summit team on another great event. Looking forward to the one in New York. Let's give them a round of applause again. I can tell you from experience, these are not easy to do. And so those who are willing to go out there and put in the work and the investment to create a place where people like us can come together and hang out with each other. Most of the time when we're hanging out with normal people, we don't get to talk about things that we get to talk about here. People look at us really strangely. And so it's nice to be around us. It's nice to be able to be in these places where we can network and share stories and just maybe feel a little less weird than we might on a given basis, right? I'm going to talk about 3 strategies that we've implemented over the last 12 months to triple the value of the leads that we're generating at one of my companies, Digital Marketer. Now, why would we want to increase the value of our leads? Some might say that, well, obviously you want to do that because more value per lead means that you're making more money. But really, we're kind of dealing with a bit of a problem here. And the problem is that traffic costs are going up. Is anybody actually, I tell you what, we have a little poll. Do we have the poll ready? Can we pull that up? Has anyone been using this Slido thing yet? All right. If the answer is no, you're in good company. Maybe ask the person next to you. I would love if you would kind of address this question. In the last 18 months, has your cost to acquire a lead or customer gone up or down? Are your acquisition costs way down? You figured out a trick to get them to go way, way, way down. That's awesome. Are they up a little bit? Let's see, I'm seeing some polls come in. Let's get a little bit more audience participation. About the same, seeing some other folks coming in there. They're down a little bit. I'm seeing way up. Loving the Jeopardy. I need a mustache. He shaved his mustache, though. Did that just cause anybody else to die a little inside when Trebek shaved his mustache? So what we're seeing here, if you look at this, is an interesting mix. And this matches what we're seeing as well. For most of you, the acquisition costs are up a little. For many of you, your acquisition costs are way up. For some of you, they're the same. And for almost nobody, are they way down, right? This has been our experience as well. The cost to acquire attention, the cost to acquire an eyeball has only gone up. That's the only thing that's happened. I wish that I was here to bear all this amazing news that like, good news, traffic costs, they're going way down, and here's how you can do it. I don't actually have an answer to get you lower traffic costs. All right, if we can bring the slides back up. I don't. I see this as being one of the really, really, really big problems that's impacting marketers today, and that is that traffic is more expensive than it was before. The poll bore that out. I know my experiences bore that out. Traffic just flat out is a lot more expensive than it was before. And in part, this is the reason why. The number of impressions that are actually available on Facebook, the number of available impressions, what isn't currently being bought, right? And we're looking at Facebook, but really the same is true across Google, has been for a while. That's why ad prices have kind of always been there. We're watching ad impressions go down, and what happens? Anybody manage to pass 8th grade economics? What happens when supply goes down? Prices go up. And what's nice is it's actually getting worse, as you'll see here in just a little bit. So the average price per ad increased 29%. Now that's a stat in 2017. So this is something that we've all been experiencing, compared to a 5% increase same time year over year in 2016. So there were a lot of people who looked like they were really, really, really smart. You got any Facebook ad experts who just were crushing it in 2014, 2015? And you're still using some of those same screenshots to sell your stuff, right? It's all right. We all look a little less smart. And this didn't help. This was Zuckerberg around this time last year. Does anybody remember this? They came out. The big emphasis in 2018 is we want to make sure that you're seeing the type of content that you want to see. And so what are we going to do? We actually expect the amount of engagement on Facebook to go down. So impressions, available ad inventory was already on decline. Then they come out and say, hey, in addition to that, we're actually going to be implementing some things that causes people to even be less interested in Facebook than they are already getting less interested in Facebook, right? The amount of time that people are spending there is going to go down. But as I mentioned before, the good news is there isn't good news. It actually gets worse. And that's because conversion rates as a whole are also going down. Right now, the average landing page conversion rate is sitting at around 2.35%. That's across a lot of different landing pages. People are like, what's your conversion rate? And any good marketer is going to know the most obnoxious answer is still the correct one. It depends, right? It depends. I don't know. Now, maybe you're looking at this going like, mine's much higher. The question I would ask you, is it substantially higher now than it was 12 to 18 months ago? I bet the answer is no. For most of the people that I know, most people that I work with, most of the marketers that I get to talk to, when we're not necessarily on a stage, when we aren't necessarily in front of a camera, most of us, despite our best efforts, find that our best efforts are yielding diminishing returns. The things that we do that used to work are working less gooder every day. And I think you got to ask yourself, right, if what you're doing is sucking a little bit more every day, is it perhaps time to try something new? Right? Or do you just want to, bury your head in the sand and hope that maybe this isn't really happening? This has led to a lot of people saying, you know what, I think the funnel is broken. There's people just throwing the funnel out completely. I think that's a gross overreaction, but I do know that a lot of the things a lot of the strategies that we would implement from a funnel perspective just flat don't work as well as they once did. And it's frustrating and it's hard, but it is our reality. All right, it is our reality. The third big problem, the third big challenge that we're seeing is engagement is also poopy. All right, engagement as a whole is less good. Organic reach isn't dead, but I think it's safe to say that it's on life support. Do you remember when you would post stuff on your Facebook page and people would, see it? That was cool, right? Do you remember? More charts. So the one on the left, that's from 2011, that was the average Facebook organic reach on a business page. It used to be back in 2011 that if you posted something on a Facebook page, 26% of your audience would see it. In 2017, that was down to 0.5%. We can't get the bars any thinner before they become invisible. 0.5%. It did not go up in 2018. All right? You could see that decline. That is reality. So just to recap, traffic costs are up. Conversions are down and engagement is down. All right, good luck with that. See you later. No, I guess the point that I'm making is that now would be an exceptional time for everybody to panic, right? Now would be a really good time for all of us to begin to freak out. Look, in all seriousness, my message to you is simple. It's going to be okay. Yeah. Little puppy hugs. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay because the things that I just said are going to magically get fixed. They're not. That is our reality today. There are marketers, there are affiliates, there are brands and publishers who have looked really smart for a very long time who don't look as smart as they once did. You can see that as a bad thing, or you can recognize that you are in this room right now, which probably suggests that you're smarter and more motivated than the average bear. You do realize we're in Las Vegas. Like, you got other entertainment options besides listening to me, okay? You know that, right? Like, there's other stuff out there. No, but you're here because you recognize that you need that. So I don't see any of these things. They're real, but I don't necessarily see them as a bad thing, because it's happening to everyone. It's happening to everyone. I don't mind if things get harder. I just want to make sure that they get equally hard for everyone. You know why? Because I think I'm smarter than my competition. More importantly, I think I'm going to try harder than my competition. Do you? Yeah. Then I think all this means is you're going to have slightly less competitors out there in your market. We're entering into a consolidation phase. We're entering into a phase where the rich are going to get richer. I would invite you to be a part of the rich getting richer and not the wheat being separated, the chaff being separated from the wheat. Quick show of hands, how many of you in this room are on the publisher side? So you're on the brand side. Okay, great. And now everybody, if you're more on the affiliate side. Okay, great, about half and half. That's the beautiful thing about this event. Yeah, so everything that I'm about to show you applies. I don't care which chair you're sitting in, all right? If you are an affiliate, you're gonna wanna know how to do this stuff because being able to spend more to acquire a lead, that's gonna be the secret to you being able to scale your affiliate marketing. From a publisher side, from a promoter side, from a brand side, implementing some of the things I'm gonna show you, that's going to enable you to incentivize your affiliates more than the next person. I still believe, and I've said it for years, I still believe that the secret to success in business, I don't care where you are in the process, the secret to success in business is being able and willing to spend more than your competition to acquire a customer. And today, the tricks and the hacks are gone. The tricks and the hacks don't work like they once did. Today, if you want to be able and willing to spend more to acquire a customer, you need to do some of the things that I'm going to show you here. So long story short, you've come to the right place. Yes, change is coming. Heck, change is already here, but I believe that change equals opportunity. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. If you see it as a bad thing, then you're probably not going to evolve with that change. So I think these are 3 deadly trends, but I think they're potentially and most likely deadly for your competition, not for you. So let's talk about how we're addressing each one of these trends. Let's talk and start with traffic costs going up. All right, let's talk about traffic costs going up. I want to show you a strategy that we've implemented at Digital Marketer to hopefully address that. We call it high-value segmentation. We call it that, and so does everybody else. That's not a new term. High-value segmentation. Now, what do I mean by that? I want to introduce you to some of Digital Marketer's avatars. So my company, Digital Marketer, we train marketers. That's what we do. We're not an agency. We provide training to marketers. Now, some of the marketers that we provide training to are business owners. So small business owners, startups, probably like a lot of you who are in this room, it's your company, but you also have to be the marketer because you're all you got. When the toilet overflows, you're also a plumber, right? So a lot of our market, they're business owners. We also serve a number of employees, people who do marketing professionals within organizations. We have companies that will send their people to us to be trained. Solopreneurs. Similar thing to a business owner, but when you're a solopreneur, you can't even pretend that you got a team to leverage. It's you and you're all you got, so that's another one. And then freelancers. So folks who are out there actively doing marketing generally for folks. These are digital marketers, some of Digital Marketer's avatars. We have a few more, but right now at Digital Marketer, the product offering that we have that serves these markets right here is called Lab. Do we have any Lab members in the room? Just out of curiosity. Great, thank you. So Lab is generally there to serve that market, that avatar. Some other avatars that we have. I mentioned the business owner, also marketing executives. So these are your director of marketing, your chief marketing officer, VP of marketing, VP of demand gen, all right? Marketing executives within larger companies. For these groups, we have Digital Marketer HQ. Now, HQ is our product offering that is specifically designed for team training. I promise this is not a sales pitch, by the way. I'm giving you some context on this, all right? There's no table in the back of the room. So you can see how they're a little bit different. Lab is for, I need to train, I need to learn myself, I want this community. HQ is, I want to send my people to you, fix them and send them back to me smarter. Got it? Similar, but different avatars. Then we also have agencies. Digital marketing agencies. Do we have any marketing agencies in the room? Yeah, a few of you. So for the agencies, we have our certified partner program. So these 3 different products within our organization. Now, here are the values of each of these products generally by profit center, average customer value. So for Lab, it averages in at around $1,000 a year for Lab. That's what a Lab customer is worth. For HQ, it's $5,000 a year, and for certified partners, it's a whopping $10,000 per year. An order of magnitude higher than Lab, 10 times the value. Now, all of you within your own organizations, you've heard of the 80-20 principle, right? But you realize that's fractal, right? So within the 80-20, there's another 80-20 that's even more valuable, right? So figuring out, and this is kind of the first little writer downer, who are my high-value segments? Who are the people nestled, hidden even, within the leads, within the flow that we're already getting, who would pay me 10 times more than the average? We got to identify that. That's a high-value segment. That is a high-value segment. We got to know that, and if you don't know who that is, mission number one for you is to figure that out. I promise you, they are there. Sometimes you have to pour through. Sometimes it's a matter of literally printing out all your customer records. If you're out there doing some affiliate recruitment, maybe it might be a high-value affiliate. So this can happen at a lot of different levels within the organization. But you have to ask, who is that high-value segment in your business? For us, it's agencies. All right, generally it's agencies. So the question that we asked is, how can we come up with scalable acquisition funnels for each one of these key profit centers? I mean, when we realized this, we said, this is amazing. This is great. We need to go and get more of these people who are worth a lot more. So far, we only had one. We only had acquisition funnels for lab. People would generally come through a lab trial, and that was all we had. It worked. Many of you who joined lab, you probably joined by buying like a $7 report, a $7 execution plan. And then afterwards, there's my smiling face saying like, hey, you've got one of our execution plans. We've got a library of like 30 more. You can have access to all of them right now just for taking a trial to lab. What do you say? And after that, it's $50 a month. Does that sound familiar to anybody in the room? Sounds about right? Sounds about right? Yeah, that's how that works. So we've been doing that almost unchanged since 2014. That funnel works. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. We have almost completely unchanged. It works like a champ. It goes something like this. People will opt in for a lead magnet. So in here, you can see a lead magnet, the perfect blog post template. In general, if we were to look across all of our different traffic channels, about a 40% average conversion rate to this page. That's usually kind of where we're sitting, about 40%. That's step one. We want to get the lead. Now, step two of the funnel is we're going to offer them what we call a tripwire or an entry point offer. In this case, it is get the content engine execution plan, get the content engine report for just $7. That, to the folks who subscribe, generally converts at around 10%. Now, remember I talked about conversion rates going down? We've watched this number drop over the years without anything really changing. It's just people are seeing it more. All right, so it's not quite 10% today, but still pretty good. It's good enough that it, that it works. Then we get the trial. We do a trial. We used to do a $1 trial. Now we do a totally free trial. Found that works a little bit better. Just created some complexity on the billing side. That's why we didn't do it earlier. Generally, about 30% of the people who purchase that $7 report wind up taking a trial. Okay? Now, this is cool, because remember, he or she who's able and willing to spend the most to acquire a customer generally wins. At this point in the process, we have collected how much money? Remember, $7 plus the buck that we got when we did the $1 trial, so a whopping $8. Okay? We ain't rich off $8. It's generally costing us more than $8 to acquire that trial. So how do we offset that? How do we generate some more cash so we can keep it going? We had an upsell to annual. An upsell to annual. We went ahead and said, hey, you're already in. If you want to go ahead and upgrade right now and become an annual member, I will send you a t-shirt. And 24% of people apparently go, that looks like a real nice t-shirt. I think I'm going to go ahead and give you $500 right now. T-shirts, y'all, are magical. I cannot explain it. People will do bizarre, freaky things. You ever been to like a sports game, right? You ever been to like a basketball game, and they got the people with the T-shirt cannons, and you watch grown men like shove some small children out of the way to get like a double XL T-shirt that's like a Ford dealership kind of thing on it, right? People are freaking weird for T-shirts. Premiums. All right, if you're not leveraging premiums within your funnel to get people to ascend, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Absent the T-shirt, this doesn't convert even half as well. So that's another little kind of throw-in tip. So we're thinking we got lab covered. This is working. We can acquire lab members predictably and profitably. This business can grow. This business can scale. And in general, it's worked. But something started happening last year. Remember, traffic prices went up, conversion rates went down. Now, all of a sudden, what used to ROI in 30 days is ROIing in 60 days. And what used to, the campaigns that ROI in 60 days, now we're out to like 120 days. And we're asking ourselves, how are we going to be able to keep this thing going, right? How are we going to continue to scale our growth? But we still had lab, and we figured that worked. So that's covered. We're going to check that. We might have to come back and do some optimization, but really where our focus needs to go is on these high-value segments. What about funnels for HQ? Remember the average $5,000 ticket? Let's go out there and get those marketing executives. And the biggie, what about some funnels for certified partner? Let's get those. So we created it. We created this. Want to build a rock star marketing team. If you're a solo, you probably don't want to build a team. This is targeted specifically at those marketing executives. VP of demand gen. It was exactly who, when we told them, like even the term like rockstar marketing team, I hate it. I think it's goofy. But when we got into the copy, that's what they said. Yeah, I want to build a rockstar team. I just refuse. Some of them said ninja, won't do it. Refuse. I will not call somebody a freaking ninja. All right, unless they're an actual literal ninja, then I'm happy to do that. So this was the campaign that we were running. And the opt-in rate was really pretty good. There was just one problem. It was a colossal, miserable failure in terms of actually being able to generate leads profitably. It didn't work. The people who were opting in, we weren't really able to get them converted. We couldn't really ever get the funnel figured out. It was hard. So we said, you know what, let's test a webinar. Let's test a webinar. Same kind of thing, how to structure and build a modern digital marketing team. Surely this will work, right? No, miserable failure. People signed up for the webinar. People attended the webinar. People liked the content. They just didn't give us any money. And that last part, that's really the important one when you get right down to it, right? We just kind of got to have that money to eat food and stuff. So another miserable failure. Okay, here's what we need to do. Go back to lead magnets, but let's do hiring guides. Obviously, if somebody's going to download a hiring guide, surely, and this is exactly what we said, hey, you just downloaded our hiring guide for content marketers. I'm guessing, crazy idea, you're planning to hire a content marketer. Once you've hired this person, wouldn't you like to have materials to train this person once you've hired them? Wouldn't that be great? Makes tons of sense, right? That should work. It didn't. That didn't really work either. We tried audits, because audits, that sounds like more official and junk. Nope, miserable failure. And what was cool, on the agency side, we had nothing. We had no materials, nothing to target agencies. That also was this colossal, miserable failure. So when these things all stopped working, we did what human beings like to do. We decided, let's fix the only thing that is actually working. Let's go back to that one funnel that is actually working, and let's try to fix it so that we can get these leads. So let me show you what we did there. Here's an example lead magnet. Remember, we showed you this before, and we added these fields here. What's your company name? What's your position? We want to know, are you one of these high-value segments? And we also asked them a question, are you an agency or consultant serving small businesses? Now, here's the really fun thing. Remember the conversion rate before, 40%? After implementing these changes, we were able to increase that conversion rate all the way down to 22%. Now, the only thing that we had that was working was a giant, colossal, miserable failure, because if you basically cut the first stage of your funnel down by half, you're screwed, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if everything else stays the same. It doesn't work. We managed, through our amazing, we're really good at this, too. I'm hoping that you're all impressed. You all want to go out tomorrow like, I got to buy some stuff from Digital Marketer, because those guys, they know what they're doing. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, I'm going to try to redeem myself. But yeah, this was also a colossal, miserable failure to figure out how can we identify these high-value segments within the leads that we are already getting. But then somebody noticed, I don't remember who it was, but they said, the issue where I'm seeing the friction, it's really in these additional fields, asking for company name, asking for their position, and the biggest one of all, people did not want to tell us the size of their marketing team. We did screen capture video, and that was the one. They'd click on it and just stop. They wouldn't move past that, so that's where we were stuck. But we asked ourselves, those little yes-no radio buttons, asking somebody, are you a consultant or agency serving small businesses? Surely that's not a problem, right? Like, that's just a simple yes-no. Are you this or aren't you? So we ran another test. We took this one, which I showed you before, And we added just that yes/no checkbox. Are you an agency or consultant serving small businesses? Yes or no. Remember the 40% conversion rate? With the addition of that, the conversion rate stayed exactly the same. It stayed exactly the same. No decrease in the front-end conversion rate. But what we were able to do now was identify and self-select our highest value segment simply by asking a binary question. Simply by asking a binary question, are you this, we were able to identify high-value segments. And the great thing is the rest of the funnel conversion number stayed the same too. The next step, the tripwire, 10%. The next one, the trial, stayed 30%. But what we had is we added an additional step for the new agency segment. That one additional question, it didn't make us any more money within the funnel, but it didn't cost us anything. But what we did have now was the ability to follow up to a high-value segment. And all we did in the beginning, they didn't go to a special landing page. We simply sent them 2 emails. We sent them this email: digital marketer loves agencies and consultants. Right? This email went out, 45% open rate. How can we help company name grow? Hey, we love agencies. We really want to help you grow. That went out, 36.4%. For a couple of months, we only sent 2 emails. That was really stupid. Then we sent 3, and that worked better, so we kept sending more, and I think now this series is about 7 or 8 emails long. Okay? We just wanted to find in the beginning that it works. So that's the first thing I'll tell you. If you do this, don't just send 2 emails. We just wanted to see if it would work. So here are the results. This was during the first 30-day test on just 2 funnels. The total leads that came through, 11,261. Of those, 23% identified as our high-value segment. Remember we talked about the 80-20 rule? It's apparently actually a 76.8, 23.2 rule. I don't know if my math is right. Was my math right? Close enough? Cool. But it's funny, right? The 80-20 rule, it kind of keeps playing out. A little over 20% of our audience that we were already getting were these high-value segments, and we didn't even know it. They were coming on our list every single day. We didn't know it. We weren't reaching out to them. Out of those, this is just in the first 30 days. All these numbers improved over time. Out of those 2,620, meetings were booked with our sales team at 108. Sales qualified leads, so the sales team wound up qualifying 18 of those. 11 of them closed as certified partners for $110,000 in revenue from traffic we were already receiving just by adding a simple yes/no checkbox. An additional $110,000 that I did not go out and buy a freaking Lamborghini, all right? We put it right back into acquisition. We are now able to spend, I'm always willing, we're now able to spend more to acquire a customer because of this little bump, this little addition. And if it worked once, let's roll it out across the board. Now, if you go to the Digital Marketer homepage, we have a area where you can join for free. Essentially, you get access to some of our content. And now, instead of it being the yes/no checkbox, we've moved over to this format where they're checking these boxes. So it's great for mobile. This has really been, this format, this structure here has been a great point of optimization. So they click on what they are. So how would you describe your role at the company? Founder, CEO. Then they click next, right? So assuming they're a marketing or sales executive, then we know we should talk to them about HQ. If they're an agency or a consultant, we should talk to them about certified partner. If they check, I'm a newbie, they're not going to be a high-value segment. We don't need to necessarily follow up with them a lot. What about the size of your company? If they're 11 or more people, then they're a decent target for HQ. All of this is data that we're able to gather through the process without reducing our immediate conversion rates, which means our cost to conversion stays the same. When it comes to the end, everyone sees the same opportunity. Everyone sees the same opportunity to join Lab. We aren't even yet sending them to separate landing pages, which arguably we should. But right now, the follow-up is working well enough. So some of the results we're getting, 51% of our accounts identify as founders or CEOs. Definitely a high-value segment. 13% of those accounts have 11 employees or more. 51% of accounts have 2 to 11 employees. 19% are a part of or run a marketing team. Sorry, I don't know why you would actually care about these numbers, but I'll put them up there. I saw people taking pictures. 19%, they're part of a marketing team. So all of these high-value segments were just sitting there all the time. They've always been coming through, and in your leads, in your list, the same exact thing is happening. So I'll ask you again, who are those high-value segments? What simple binary questions can you ask to get them to raise their hand and self-identify? Not only were we able to increase volume to these other offerings, we were able to do it by reducing the friction coming through this new funnel because everything was free. Come through, just go ahead and tell us this stuff. We were able to get better data, full record prospects, not just email addresses, and we got immediate lead routing to identify and capture high revenue opportunities in days, not weeks or months. I don't know if you've tracked this, but the value of a lead drops dramatically after a couple of days. Some of the tools that we use to do this, Clearbit. Clearbit, it's a bit pricey. You kind of need those high-value segments. It will actually allow you to do much of what I'm talking about without even requesting the information from them. It will just identify, this is who this person is, where they work, employee size. So integrating Clearbit into your forms can be a good way to start capturing and identifying these high-value segments automatically. Bucket.io is the tool that will help you do that kind of multi-step. Have them press the different boxes. My buddy Ryan Levesque, that's his company, Bucket.io. That's not an affiliate link. And then Tapcast.io. This actually allows you, who in here has heard of Tapcast? Really great tool. It allows you to, it'll go in and look at all of your social followers, and it'll identify within the traffic that you're already getting where are some potential high-value segments that you can do retargeting to. It's a really, really, really powerful tool, Tapcast.io. Remember, the theme of all this is just identifying high-value segments. That's our goal. That's what we're seeking to do. All right, how do we get those high-value segments? All right, so we talked about traffic costs being up. How do you fix the fact that traffic costs are going up? You're not going to be able to spend less on traffic. That's the reality. We want to be able and willing to spend more by identifying those high-value segments. Let's now talk about the engagement challenge that we're having. This one's going to be pretty quick. But remember this? Engagement used to be high. Now it's really, really low. A lot of this is algorithmic. A lot of it is just Facebook wants us to pay for this. But a lot of it is also just noise. There's just so much noise out there. I remember when blogging, like, if you did it, you were a cutting-edge marketer. Now if you don't, and people are producing tons and tons of content, it's going crazy. It's all over the place. So the strategy to resolving the engagement challenge, this one's going to seem so simple, but it might be the most powerful thing I give you. I simply want you to start answering specific questions. This was the key to us increasing our engagement of our video content and our social content. Answering specific questions. This is not a new concept. The New York Times ran this story about a marketer, revolutionary marketing strategy, answer customers' questions. Right? It is not a new idea. We launched a business in the SaaS space, so I started going out there and looking at people who really knew their stuff in SaaS. I ran across SaaStr. Any of you in like SaaStr subscribers? Follow Jason Lemkin. All he does, if you look at his content, he just answers ultra-specific questions. So you say, how much should I pay a sales rep when they're just getting started? He'll just give you an answer. We used to do this at Digital Marketer. If you were following Digital Marketer for some length of time, if you asked us, what color should my order button be? Do you know what the answer would be? Orange. Just make it freaking orange. Now, other colors can be fine too, but we built an entire business on the back of people asking specific questions. What everybody else is doing is, I don't know, you're going to have to test it. It really kind of depends. You're going to have to test it. Recognize that most of the people who are coming to you for help, most of the people who are looking for questions looking for answers to questions, do you know what they want more than anything else? Hope. They just want to believe that maybe possibly an answer is there. And when we say to somebody, your buy button, just make it orange, they go, okay, thank God I can check this on my list and I can move on. If you say, well, to really know what your buy button should be, you need to run a multivariate split test and bring all this, like, screw it. I don't want to. That doesn't give hope. That makes me feel bad. It makes me feel dumb. So I want you to think specific answers to specific questions. We got too smart. at this. I had to stumble across somebody and realize how well it worked for me. And the way that Jason Limkin did it, he just started answering questions on Quora. How many of you in here are familiar with Quora? Quora is the best resource because it's actual questions being asked by your customers. And you know the best part about it? It's not just questions, it's the answers. So even if you don't know the answers, you can fake it. They're there. He built an entire business on the back of simply answering people's questions. Right now, today, SaaStr as a company, it's a blog. They have a podcast. They have a paid membership area. They have events. They put on a massive, like 10,000 plus person event. They even have a VC fund. All of this built on the back of answering specific questions. Okay, so I'm from Austin, which means basically Matthew McConaughey is my spirit animal. And he's got a really creepy line from one of his movies that I'm not going to repeat. But the thing that we all have to remember is we get smarter. Our customers are people, the ones who are coming to us, they stay the same. There's new people coming on, and they're asking the same questions. We get smarter, so we want to start talking. We start talking to these folks when we're learning, and we're really, really helpful, and then we get smarter, and so we want to talk about the new stuff that we just learned, right? Because we want to keep maintaining the conversation with the same people who are there. And so we keep getting smarter, and we keep having new and bigger and bolder conversations, and we've completely forgot about this just avalanche of people who are coming back saying, yeah, but wait, what color should my buy button be? Orange. All right? Orange. That's the color your buy button should be. Then you can test it. Like I said, we almost forgot this at Digital Marketer. We started talking about highfalutin trends and this and that, and we were wondering, why does nobody read our stuff anymore? Why is nobody coming? Why are our blog posts down? Like, what's going on? We realized we stopped answering people's questions. We started talking about the things that interest us. So now when you go to Digital Marketer, granted it's down at the bottom of the page, but at least when you go to Digital Marketer, there's a section that is called Questions and Answers. How do I learn digital marketing? How do I create a Facebook campaign? How do I write marketing copy and create persuasive sales letters? How do I generate qualified leads? These are the same questions that people ask every single day. Answer the dumb question. Answer the dumb question. Some tools that I like to use for this, I mentioned it before, Quora. My recommendation, go to Quora and make a list of 20 questions. Make a list of 20 questions in your industry. All right? Pick your top 10. And I would record you answering them. 2 to 3 minute videos. All right, 2 to 3 minute videos. Answer the question, boom, in and out. Don't pontificate. Don't hem and haw and hedge. Give them a specific answer to a specific question. You want to be seen as an authority? Speak in absolutes. Do this. Is it the whole answer? No, it never is. But it's what they need. It's what they desperately need. Give them hope. AnswerThePublic.com is another really great solution for this. You can go there and type in, I typed in here chiropractor, and it gives you all the questions that people are asking around that in this wheel type thing. A lot of them make sense, a lot of them don't. But it's another really good place to go. Answer the Public, totally free source. And then BuzzSumo. I love BuzzSumo. And if you go and you look in your industry, look in your keyword, what are the articles that are getting shared a lot, you'll find that many of them simply answer questions. They're just simply answering questions. So, 10 pieces of content. 10 pieces of content answering the 10 most common questions that your audience is asking. Produce that. I like it. I think video, I think there's a really good opportunity if you're in B2B. LinkedIn video is currently, algorithmically, videos are getting way more love there than I think they will in the next 12 months, so there's a bit of a window. But in all these areas, we're seeing way more engagement when we answer specific questions than when we just talk about trends and things like that. So how do you get engagement up? Answer specific questions. That's how you get engagement up. That's how we completely revamped our entire content marketing strategy. We simply started answering people's questions. Let's talk about how we get conversion rates higher. I mentioned some people have said that the funnel is broken. I don't believe that the funnel is broken, but I do believe that there are people who desperately want to circumvent the funnel. How many of you in this room, raise your hand if you have paid extra to cut in line at Disney World? Yeah. You have customers, you have leads, you have folks who are hitting your page who they don't want to jump through all these hoops. You know what they want to do? They just want to give you money. They just want to give you money. Now, you don't yet know who they are, right? And more times than not, the funnel's going to work, but we've got to give the people who want to pay extra for the fast pass to cut in line and give them the opportunity to give you money. How do we do that, though? I recommend a unique strategy called actually talking to your prospects. This is going to rub many of you the wrong way, especially I know a lot of folks in the affiliate industry. The reason that you got into this is you don't want to have to talk to anybody. That's literally why you started doing this. I want to build a web page, I want to drive some traffic, I want to sit on the beach, and I don't want to talk to other people. Look, I get it. I don't like people either, all right? Strangers, they're scary. They want to stab you and sell you drugs. I've seen the videos. I was taught this growing up, right? That's what they do. I get it. I just don't think it's what's going to work anymore. I just don't think it's what's going to work anymore. And furthermore, you should know that right now, 57%, all right, 57%, this is a B2B figure, but still 57%, that's how far along the sales process a B2B customer is before they engage with a salesperson. So by the time they are ever talking to anybody, they're already 57% of the way through. They've done their research online. You know, in-store traffic at the retail level is down, but in-store sales are not. People are just going directly to the store to buy. This is happening online as well. There are people who are wanting to opt out of the funnel and go directly there. We need to give them the opportunity to do it. So I believe that conversation is the new lead. And we have a metric at Digital Marketer. I'm sure everybody in this room is familiar with CPC, cost per click. For us, CPC is cost per conversation. We want to measure how much does it cost us to generate a live human-to-human conversation. Now, how do you facilitate this? How do we make it happen? Has anybody seen these around anymore? You go to a website, and now there's these like chatbots in the corner. Only 100% of you have seen this a lot of times, right? This is the thing. So I want to talk about this because I really do believe that chatbots, the next new thing. Now, this might be also one of the most kind of a bit overblown. I do think it's a big deal. I think it's kind of the next, a trend every bit as big as email. But are bots going to completely replace human interaction? I don't believe that they will, nor do I believe that they should. But I do believe that we need to understand how to write bots that are human so that we can facilitate and improve this process. So I want to show you how we do it at Digital Marketer, or how we used to do it. Most of the time, you come to a web page and people say something like this: "Hey there, have a question? Want to chat?" And you know what everybody says? "Nope. I don't want to talk to you, stranger. Thank you." They don't want to talk. How many of you you walk into a store, somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, can I help you with anything?" What do you say? "I'm just looking." It's such a common aspect of the human experience that I was able to have that in this slide, and you all knew it. I'm just looking. If you ask people if they want to talk, the answer will be no. But have you also ever gone into a store and somebody walks in and be like, "Hey, can I help you with something?" You're like, "No, thanks, I'm just looking." So they walk away, and now like 4 seconds later, you actually do need their help, and you're angry that they're not there? Okay? We want to talk to people. We want to talk to them on our terms and in our timing. Humans do want to talk to other humans, but we want to talk to them on our terms and our timing. So, remember we talked about the binary question before? If it worked on a form, why not have that be the opening question for a chat? So when somebody's on a page that is related to marketing, we simply ask them, "Are you a consultant or marketing agency?" So I want you to think right now, what binary question can you ask? So it's not, "Do you want to chat?" It's, "Are you this or that?" It's not, "Do you want to chat?" It's, "Are you this or that?" We did this, it changed everything. Quick question: are you a consultant or marketing agency? And they can answer with a click. "Yes, I'm with an agency." "Yes, I'm a consultant," or "Nope, neither." So let's kind of go through this, right? Actually, before we get to the thing, people ask like, "Well, I can't handle all of these conversations." The bot that I'm going to show you how to do should facilitate and make it easier to do these conversations much faster. But if you're thinking, I still don't want to have that many conversations, a couple of quick insights. Don't put it on your homepage. Not yet. You don't know who's coming to your homepage. Don't put it on your homepage. You could also say, "I want to trigger the chat when somebody's come on the third visit." And I want to trigger the chat when somebody's come on the third visit. So you're only talking to people when they're a little bit more serious. That will also throttle right? You're going to emphasize quality over quantity. Those are always two sides of the same coin. You can usually have more by trading some of the other. You can trigger chat only on bottom of funnel content. So I only want to trigger it when somebody is really deep into the funnel, when somebody's asking questions, when they're looking at content that suggests that, yeah, they kind of want this. And the ultimate bottom of funnel content are thank you pages and pricing pages. If somebody's on your pricing page, that's about as bottom of funnel as content gets, right? They want to know what the price is. So that's some ways that you can reduce it. Now let's say you got a conversation. What do you do? You're actually having a conversation with somebody. What do you do? I want to go through a 5-step process, a 5-question process that you can implement to automate just about any bot that will work for almost any market. Okay, 5 questions to ask. The first one is the binary question we talked about. Are you insert avatar? You want to make sure you are talking to someone who you can actually help. Are you this person? Right, that's question number 1. Then we want to say, tell me more. Now that doesn't look like a question, so you would, say it more like, tell me more, in that upward inflection, right? Tell me more. We want to probe. We want to find out a little bit more about them. And we're not necessarily asking this question to get more information so we can use it against them. I think that's what a lot of artists are like, ooh, I want to get the information. How am I going to use it? No, this is called just being nice, right? Like I teach my kids, when you meet somebody new for the first time, ask them 5 questions about them before you start talking about you. They will think you are the most fascinating, interesting person in the world. We are most interested in those who are most interested in us, even when we know nothing about them. We are most interested in those who are most interested in us. So tell me more. That's great. I'll show you an example in just a second. What brought you here today? What are your goals? What's going on in your world that caused you to come here today? What do you know about us? It's one of those powerful sales questions you can ask. What do you know about us? I don't want to waste your time. What do you know about us? And then finally, the most powerful close of all, want some help with that. Once you've identified that you're talking to the right person, once you've probed and you've had a conversation, once you understand their goals, their objectives, once you understand what they know about you and what they want to get out of the relationship, at that point, it's very simple. Yeah, well, we can help with that. We do that stuff. Do you want some help? To date, I haven't come up with a better, higher converting close. So let's look at an example. Going back to digital marketer, this is what appears if you go to any page or piece of content that is related to agencies. So we have different ones for other ones. I'm going to show you the one for agencies. So quick question. Are you a consultant or marketing agency? If somebody says, nope, neither, then we generally respond with, OK, great. Well, if you have any other questions, let me know. We're here. This is all triggered by a bot. There's no human interaction yet. I'll show you where the human's going to pick up the baton. Quick question. Are you a consultant or marketing agency? Question number 2. Tell me more about your business. Do you specialize? We want to dig a little bit deeper. So we say, that's great. Are you just getting started or have you been at this for a while? That's great. Are you just getting started or have you been at this for a while? Now, at this point, if they say something like long time, if they enter any type of keyword that would somehow indicate that they've been at it for a while, we have a response for them. If they indicate that they haven't been at it for a very long time, we have a different response. And if we have no idea what they said, we have this response. So let's say they say, I'm fairly new. Well, welcome to the community. Welcome to the community. I'm fairly new. If they say, I've been at this for a while, or if we don't know, you know what we say? That's great. I'm so glad you're here. You're going to notice a trend. It's always great. Welcome to the community. Hopefully we can help you reach your goals even faster. And you know what? Speaking of goals, what's your top priority right now? More clients, better systems, grow your retainers and retention. If you are an agency, I know for an absolute fact that you want at least one of those things, and likely you would like to have all 3. So if you want to write a powerful chatbot script, you need to know what are 3 things. And we've tried more. We've tried 5. We tried 7. 3 is good. What are 3 common goals that they would have? And I want you to put that in here. So I need more leads and clients. I'm ready to systemize and scale. I want to grow my retainers and recurring revenue. All the above or not sure. Let's say in this case, they say I need more leads and clients. You know what we say? That's great. We can definitely help with that. Do you know what we say if they answer any of the other ones? That's great. We can definitely help with that. You know why? Because we can. It has the added benefit of being true. Any interest in seeing a demo of our partner resource portal? I'd love to show you some specific tools and resources that will help you achieve your goal. I know you're somebody we can help. I know that you have a challenge or an opportunity that we can address. Do you want to see more? Do you want to see more? And if they say, sure, let's do it, awesome. Let me see if I can track someone down right now, or you can grab some time and schedule a demo right here on Rob's calendar. All of this, everything that you've seen just here, is 100% automated by a bot. But it is at this magical moment where the human needs to enter in. It is at this magical moment where I believe the human should show up and say, hey, my friend Body Mick Botface told me that you're interested in this stuff. I just want to reach out and see if there's anything I can do. By the way, what do you already know about us? What do you know about the company? That question number 4, that is the first question that the human asks to pick up where the bot left off. That's the question, all right? What do you know about the product? And then hopefully during the interaction, do you want some help with that? Now, a lot of you are thinking, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to have these conversations. You don't have to. When we implemented this, we started out having our customer care team have these conversations, not salespeople. And we were able to turn what was a cost center into a profit center because all they did is they just started talking to folks. And you know what we found? Some of those folks, you know what they wanted to do? They wanted to give us money. It was amazing. And you know what we did? We took it. Because we're good people. But had we not engaged them in conversation, we may never have got it. We might have got it at some point. But had we forced them all through the funnel and not given an opportunity to say, God dang it, I just need help with this. You got anything? Yeah, we got this over here. You should buy. I'm in. Totally covered all the costs of our customer care department. There are people talking about how jobs are going away, especially at the retail level. I believe that this is the future of work. I believe the future of retail. People having chats, not, hey, want some help with that? Not stocking shelves, but talking to people via chat. I think that's the future of work. You say, I don't want to do it, that's fine. Guess what? Your competitor probably will. And you got to decide if you want to play around at the next level or if you just want to automate everything. The human picks up at step 4. But at that point, you know that human is talking to somebody who they're fit, they can help, and they've already, the conversation has already started. I want to show you the results of this test. 233 conversations we had in the first 30 days. Out of those conversations, 37 meetings were booked with a salesperson. 8 of those were sales qualified leads, so they were shown to be qualified for a higher ticket offering. It was 22% conversion rate. 5 of them closed as certified partners. So 5 of them became certified partners, $50,000 in revenue from traffic we were already receiving just by asking a binary question. Between the checkbox between the thing I showed you before, the $110,000, an extra $50,000 over here, way more than tripling our lead value. Some of the tools we use, Drift.com is a tool that we use. Drift.com can help facilitate chat. Intercom can also do this. HubSpot has it built in from on the Facebook side. If you want to do this with Facebook chat, there's ManyChat. That's out there. There's a new one that I've seen, crisp.chat, and I would be willing to bet that somewhere on the trade floor here at Affiliate Summit, there's a company also that will facilitate this type of marketing for you. This is something that you need to do, but do not believe all the hype that, chatbots are going to allow us to completely automate the sales process. That's not the purpose. Actually, the purpose of chatbots is to make sales and marketing more human again. It's to give us the opportunity to have more human conversations. The folks who get that, I believe, are going to own the next level. So I believe that bots are for filtering, not closing the sale. Bots are for filtering, not closing the sale. I further believe that bots, the future belongs to the companies who are willing to invest in real live, one-to-one, human-to-human interactions. These are the companies that I don't care if you're on the affiliate side, I don't care if you're on the brand side. If you want to be able to generate a lot more revenue from the leads and from the traffic that you're already getting, I would encourage you to start talking to your people. And if you're saying, but I can't, they're not valuable enough for me to be able to engage with them, then figure out how to deliver more value to them such that they're able and willing to deliver more value to you. Find those high-value segments, talk to them. So yeah, traffic costs are up. Yeah, conversion rates are down, but I believe that if you talk to people, your conversion rates are going to skyrocket. The business we are in is not going to get any easier. I believe that if you are in this room next year, you will find that the work that you do is a little bit harder than it was when you stand here today. The business that we are in is going to get more difficult. Change is here. You can choose to believe and to see that as a bad thing. You can choose to see this as, what am I going to do? Or you can see it as the opportunity that it is, an opportunity for you to capture some much needed market share from the competitors who are unwilling to do the things that we talked about here today. That's what I have for you. I hope you take something from it. My name is Ryan Deiss, and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.